feeling disappointed. Yes, that's very true. And then how do you react to it? But later on, I discovered that hey, it's not useful having those arguments. Okay, so that is why I'm saying I really want to appreciate the contributions you're going today. I do not think I have any questions right now because whenever we have issues in our marriage, I think that we still come to that place where you have to ask God for wisdom and guidance, and then keep on with that calmness till you see the better portion, the better parts of that person you want to see. Because sometimes I do not think, or maybe I should just put it this way, does it really work when you go on ahead and keep telling your husband, this is what I want to see, this is what I expect from you, and then he's not seeing it? So how patient can you be? All right, so that is why I resolved to go, okay, just hold on, pray, and then maybe in a calm manner keep reiterating it until the person gets to see it. But if there's any other way, I'll be glad to hear.
Fantastic.
Okay, so another area that I know used to bring challenges in marriage is like a second part to not being over expectant, and that is appreciating what you have. Appreciating what you have. If like my husband said, he got to the level where he realized, this woman, your own is from market to port, Abi. Okay, let me leave it like that for you. My own is from market to store, Abi. At least to avoid World War III, we have that peace. From market, get into the port. Me, from market, I can get into the store. So it is also important that you appreciate what you see in your spouse at the moment. Appreciating what you see or what you have at the moment will reduce your expectation. I have a younger brother who is not so organized at all. He will come back, will fly his trouser here, fly his this one here, fly his this one here. In fact, there was a certain time we got into his house and my husband tried to arrange the place. He said, Uncle Mash, leave those things for me. You will confuse me. He's a pastor. He said he will make me start looking for my Bible now. My husband was trying to arrange this. He said, no, leave it. You will confuse me. You make me start looking for my Bible. Now, the wife...
And if you see the place, you won't believe that you can't find anything.
Yes.
Because he has clothes and boxers.
Scattered all over.
Everywhere.
But he knows where all those things are.
He knows where everything is.
But the wife got to understand that aspect of the husband, that is how he is wired. I'm not saying tolerate what is not good. No. The area of putting things right, things that are not okay, make it right, orderliness, that part, it's okay. It's separate. But I'm talking about appreciating what you have. If your husband is the type that can cook but cannot sweep, please appreciate that. If your wife is the type that can if your wife is the type that can sweep but cannot cook, appreciate that. I'm the first daughter of my home, of my mom. There's a natural tendency that the first daughters were highly domesticated, right? I escaped that. I'm domesticated because I'm just the first daughter. If I was not the first daughter, I would not be domesticated. But that does not mean you will not see me in that area of domestication. I take care of my home. You understand? But when it comes to office, I can sit down on the system from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. And my husband has come to appreciate that. It's not all the time that I have the energy or I have the grace to do a lot of domestications. And he has come to appreciate that. So it's good for you to also, in the area of not being over expectant, know what your spouse can do. Know the strength. Know the I don't want to talk about weaknesses now. Know the strength of your spouse and appreciate that. It will also help reduce your
to add to what she asked about having to overemphasize. Something we introduced in the early days and then we let it go is, are we separating? Sometimes the arguments get so heated that if I tell you, cooling now, you and I were arguing, we're quarreling, and I ask, are we separating? You must say, yes, we are not separate. No, we are not separating. You have to answer. That answering, for instance, you and your wife now, you're arguing, one person says, are we separating? You're not arguing about separation, you're arguing about water half full or half empty. What's the essence of the argument? My wife would hold toothpaste and then she will just like this, as if she hates the person that manufactured this toothpaste. And that's something I hate. I'll hold toothpaste and I'll go from the down, I'll press it like that until it neatly finishes. But she doesn't see the need. And then she'll hold soap. When you've used soap and it's remaining small, and when it's remaining small, she'll just hold it, and she's more energetic than you can imagine. She would hold the soap and squeeze it like a bar, like this. And then I'll come into the bathroom and I'll see squeezed soap. I would use the soap flat like that until it finishes. And she'll be wondering, how are you using this soap even when it's so light? And so we would argue and argue, and I'll say, are we separating? She must answer. She must say, no, we're not separating. And at that point, we'll realize that what we are arguing about is very, very trivial. You can add some little techniques that could help you. Particularly, I hope we've been able to help.
Good job. I want to ask about our finances. You didn't mention, probably because of the limited time that you were given. So I just want to ask, is in marriage, number one, is it healthy to have a budget? First thing, I mean, running of the house, probably little things, get some things in the house and all of that. So is it okay to have a budget? Let's say, okay, we are spending 50,000 naira this month, we are spending 100,000 naira this month. Secondly, in marriage, is it also good to do a kind of joint account together as couples?
Truth of the matter, I'll give her to say a thing or two. Truth of the matter, Pastor Kunle, last year I was going to renew my passport, international passport, and I had issues with my bank account because I was going to do my NIN and all of that. Do you know the issue I had with my bank account? In our family, we have about 7 bank accounts, or 8 thereabouts. My wife has about, you have Fidelity, Sterling, in the personal account, Fidelity, Sterling, Zenith Bank, UBA, Access, her own, 5. Me, Access Bank, Sterling, Diamond Bank, so Access Bank, and Fidelity. All my accounts are joint accounts. Her 5 personal accounts. All my account is either consigned, not joint signatory, including MIA. We have several businesses. BM Inspired, House of Shula, Groove Media, Marshall International has 2 First Bank, and either person can sign and collect money. She can sign and collect money, I can sign and collect money. However, when I went to do my international passport, they found out that my BVN, my account, my bank account, was transmitting my wife's BVN to immigration. And so when I put in my BVN, when I drop my BVN, I drop my NIN, they keep seeing my wife, they keep seeing my wife's passport. So I went back to the bank to resolve it. They said they've resolved it. I went back, they keep seeing my wife's passport. Because in other banks too, it is my wife's picture. It is my wife's NIN and BVN that supersedes. I angrily had to write to the bank to delete my wife from one of my accounts and make me sole and owner of one account at least, so I could have my way. That was how I had my way with my NIN. So you should already know my answer to joint venture and joint account. Almost everything is in our joint name, apart from Marshall International. Every other thing is Beulah Marshall. In fact, our major business is called BM Inspired, Beulah Marshall Inspired. That's the major company that we have. Marshall International was even supposed to be under Beulah Marshall Inspired, but because Beulah Marshall Inspired is a general merchandise, we decided to form education on its own. Having a joint venture is something that would give your spouse, especially the woman, confidence that you're not going anywhere. Pastor Kunle, look at your wife. Madam, look at Pastor Kunle. Eyeball to eyeball. No, not Pastor Kunle, don't mistake me for him. Yeah, just look at him. Pastor, are you looking at your wife?
Yes, sir.
That woman you're looking at, sometimes when you leave the house, as much as you're a pastor, she will be concerned, is she going to have you for the rest of her life? It is a thought that crosses every woman. No matter what they tell you. So now, Pastor, look at me. If that woman reasons like that, sometimes you need to find ways to instill confidence in them. One way is giving her access to everything. My wife knows everything. She knows she has access to all my money. As per budget, whether you should have budget for a month and say, okay, this month we're going to spend X amount of money. My brother, it depends how your pocket is deep. Nigeria has a crazy economy. Things could go north today and tomorrow things could go south. So as per budget, I do not know. I think we tried it in the early days, but it wasn't working. So we started going according to what was available. As for whether you should give your wife monthly stipend, yes, I strongly advocate for that. But know what your monthly stipend is. Like I said, in the early days, I was giving monthly stipend for market, but I won't see the market. So at the time, we had to now say, okay, what is our money for? And then coupled with the fact that most times when I give her money, Daddy, she doesn't even use the money. I buy clothes for my wife. I buy shoes for my wife. I buy the lingerie for my wife. I buy her cream for her. She doesn't know how much is her cream. If any of you run a cosmetic store now, I will say her cream and then let her tell us the price of her cream. For over 7-8 years, it's been me. She doesn't know the price of her soap, her cream. Because she doesn't even tell me my cream is finished though. Sorry, she doesn't tell me it's finished. I just check when it's going down. I am supposed to know that her cream is finishing, and I go to the market and I buy it. So is that the woman I'll be giving budget for cream? No, it is on me. So certain things work according to your peculiarity in your marriage. But if your marriage is fashioned to such that, and your spouse understands that you guys should have a spending budget, maybe you're a spendthrift, and she's been able to tell you, no, don't spend like this. Have us. Some women are more economical than others. So my wife is a back home. You spend 1 million, okay. You spend 100, okay. She just trusts me. So if your wife is like, Pastor, well, let me not pick on the pastor. If she's economical, you need to also listen to her. If she feels you need to have a budget, a spending budget. Finance is one of the major causes or leading causes of divorce in marriage. But people don't know. Finance, sex, reproduction. Yeah. Some people, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, no children, they are separated already.
I've said before you arrived, I think I mentioned that. So I have a question to ask.
Yes, sir. So, Pastor Kunle.
Okay.
You want to add to the budget? He adds budget.
Okay. Budget. Yes, there should be a budget. It's ideal to have a budget, but then it still depends on how it's going to work for your family. If your wife is the kind of person that is working, when I was working, there is no time I don't branch the market. I will always buy okra 5 naira, I will go 5 naira, and crayfish 5 naira, and soup, will land. So if she's that kind of person that's always branching the market for food for food to be in the house, it might be hard for you to work on a budget. But if she's not that kind of person that said, okay, let's have a budget. This is how much we're going to spend, and this is when I'm going to go to the market, then it's okay like that. But ideally, it's good to work on a budget, to live on a budget. Even if you don't particularly live by it, but have a mindset that, okay, DSTV, 10 naira, we paid NEPA 2 naira, we bought food about 5 to 10 naira. You know, have an approximation, say this month we spent about 15,000. Next month, let's try to make it down. You know, keep it down or keep it high. Even if it's not precisely on that budget, but have an idea, approximated idea of how much your family should run on. And then joint account, yes. It's good to have a joint account. But from a woman's perspective, you see that grammar that they say, your money is our money, my money is my money. It is absolutely true. Don't change it for us. You see that joint account, let's have it. You see that family money, that family business, let's do it together. But you see that one that she wants to do that carries her name alone, if it comes up, it's going to come up. And if it comes up, please leave it for her. It gives us one certain confidence that you don't know where it's coming from. That this money, the name of this money is not even Beulah Marshall. The name of this money is Beulah Odimba. Please leave it for us like that. It might not come up now, but anytime it comes up, have it at the back of your mind that it's just natural for us. All right, so your question.
Okay. So, she will ask that question later.
Okay.
I want to start from where she stopped.
Okay.
She made mention of our money is our money. We must review that. Okay. And we must be sincere with the reality. The husband's money is our money. The wife's money is our money. Yes, you can see it's two different things. It's even happening to me right now. Praise God. That's one. While you are talking earlier, you made mention of she does not even know how much they sell the cream and all that. It's just like Mommy Shepherd. She doesn't know how much Nigeria is selling fuel right now. She will just drive the car. Anytime there will be fuel, she doesn't know whether anything has ever been repaired in the car since 5 years now. Praise God. So my question is this, sir. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yes, now. Sir, my question is this. I have attended weddings of some months that are no longer in existence. I have attended wedding 1 year. Wedding scattered. Many like that. But sir, I want to ask a question. What is still keeping you guys together?
That's my question.
What's the secret of your standing together till this very moment? And I will not want to go into details of touching some areas, but I know you understand better.
Yes, ma'am.
Praise the Lord. Praise the living Jesus. Let me start by saying that you are one couple that I sincerely love and I appreciate so much. I envy you a lot, really. And when we were actually planning this program, I was at home with my husband, and he came up with a topic that raising an enviable home. And along the line, we got into arguments. We're just trying to see if that topic is good enough. And it drew my attention to something that happened to one of our family friends. They used to be a couple really, but today they are no more. And at some points, we used to see them as a loving couple. We never knew what was going on the inside. When we see them outside, the way they relate, the way they talk, the way they, this love in Tokyo, exactly. So we used to believe that, wow, this couple are perfect. And this would take me back to when I was in high institution. I used to have a friend, a male. He was married as at that time, and on 2 or 3 occasions had followed him to his house to see his wife. And anytime I get there, the way they, talk, the way they, celebrate themselves, then I was always praying that, I desire a home like this. You know, I was always, though I didn't say it out, but in my heart, I would just say, Lord, this is the kind of home. But there was a particular day I was opportune to visit them. I didn't go with the husband. I didn't go with my friend. And, you know, it was at home, so I went to visit him at home. And on getting there, just at the passage, I had the two of them, you know, trying to exchange words, you know, saying all manner of things. And I stood at the door. I stood there for like 5 minutes or 7 minutes. And, you know, it almost got to physical combat. And I was like, what? Does that mean that I have actually been wishing myself, you know, bad marriage all this while? Now, the question I want to ask is, I never knew you are up to 13 years in marriage, really. And at least with the few things that I know about you, I bless the name of the Lord for bringing you this far. And I appreciate how far God has brought you, in spite of. But the question now is, how do you, there's a difference between building an healthy home and building a lasting marriage. There is a difference between the two. You might actually be envying a marriage that is going nowhere. Praise the Lord. So, how do you build an enviable home? How? That's the question. And this goes to mommy. When daddy was delivering his speech, he said something about you've gotten him hungry several times, blah, blah, and he chose not to react. But I'm throwing this question to you. Was there ever a time that it got you angry? Really? And see, let's be realistic, really. There are times that my husband got me hungry so much that I felt like, wow, this is it.
That is the hair.
This is it. You understand that kind of a thing? So how were you, if at all he has gotten you hungry at some point or the whole that, how were you able to, you know, manage it? And now, there's another question I want to ask. You know, getting hungry to a point whereby you just feel like busting out, like, you know, perhaps this is the end. You understand? How do you, you know, manage the situation to get back to normal? So that's my question.
Thank you very much, ma. She will also say a few things because you asked her specifically if I've gotten her angry. Oh, many times. I can answer that one, but she would answer more. Ma, the sex in the marriage is sweet. I don't want to miss it. Maybe sex outside marriage is sweet. I don't know. But this one is sweet. Was she so sexually active before, when we got married? No. I was more the one that was more sexually active. But like I said, the cameraman asked me, why are you marrying her? Because she was more like an introvert, secluded and all of that. I saw that she was teachable, she was learnable, she was growable. I could plant my seed and she would take my seed. She would nurture it and she would grow it. I taught her several things. It took us time. I was more, like I said, more sexually experienced than she was. And I wanted more than she could give. I asked my aunt questions as to why they let my father get married to another woman. And sometimes she was saying that my father, in fact, my mother escorted my father to get married my stepmother. And she said, my aunt said, that she told Josephine, that's my mother's name, so she told her that why are you doing this? Why are you supporting Antonio? Why are you? She said that the man wants more and that he wants more than she can give. So instead of us to have a broken home, let me allow him now, not knowing that was what was going to eventually break the home. And so she escorted to support the man who was asking for more. I told her that we are never going to break up. It was not because the pastor said it, for better for worse, but because we sat down and we talked about it. What is your view to divorce? What is your view to breaking up? What is your view to living separately? I have come from that crisis. And I remember the night I was talking to her about this in my hotel room, in Airport Hotel, because I stayed there for 6 months when I first came to Lagos. I spoke to her about, I was in tears. And she said to me she didn't know how serious I was in this discussion.